Hello and welcome to another Nikke video. Tove Skill Kit has recently been released and I'm going to discuss it. Please leave a like and a sub and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so this is Tove. She's part of the Unlimited squad. Her type is a supporter, her weapon is an assault rifle, her burst skill is 1, and her code is water. Her skill 1 is a passive called Emergency Crafted Bullets. There is a 5% chance of activating when attacking, affects self. Emergency Crafted Bullets reloads 5.31% magazine, activates during Emergency Crafted Bullets, affects all allies, temporary modification, max ammunition capacity up by 2 rounds, stacks up to 3 times and lasts for 5 seconds, critical damage up 5.24% for 5 seconds. Alright, let's look at the first part of skill 1 where it says there is a 5% chance of activating when attacking. So every shot she takes, which she has 60 shots she's able to take, has a 5% chance in order to activate the effect on herself, which this is going to play a major role on her whole kit, which I will get into more in a little bit later. And also when it says reloads 5.31% of the magazine, pretty much as soon as it procs, it's going to reload that amount of ammo immediately. It's not going to play any animation, it's just going to go ahead and automatically add that amount of bullets back into her reserve ammo. Now let's go ahead and look at the second part of skill 1. This is going to affect all allies, and the key to make this work is that you have to actually proc. So each shot has a chance to go ahead and proc this. Of course, there is a chance where it might not even proc for the whole reload. I mean, it's possible. In case it does proc, what's going to happen is that you're at least able to make it stack at least 3 times. So if you are able to proc it 3 times, the maximum ammo capacity will go up to 6 rounds. And not only that, also the critical damage is going to go up 3 times as well. So it's going to be 15.72% for 5 seconds. Next up is skill 2 and it's also a passive. Its modification successful. Activates when temporary modifications is fully stacked. Affects all allies. Crit rate up 3.32% continuously. Activates when temporary modification is fully stacked. Affects all allies with a shotgun. Attack speed up 42.24% continuously. Now looking further into the abilities of skill 2, they pretty much work very similarly. It's just one of them is going to affect all allies, and then the second part is going to affect all allies with a shotgun. So pretty much it's telling you right away that if you want the maximum benefit of skill 2, you're going to want to have at least a shotgun unit on the team, because not only do you get the crit rate up at all times as long as she procs the 5% there, if they're a shotgun unit, they're also going to do a massive attack speed at a little over 42%. And this effect is going to be constantly happening as long as you can keep proccing the 5%. As long as that happens, this is always going to constantly be happening on the team, which is pretty good, especially for attack speed, since there are a few units that already have attack speed already included in their kit. For example, Sugar, but she's going to be one of the few Nikkes that actually affects all allies with a shotgun and also increase attack speed. Of course, again, the first part of skill 1 has to proc in order for skill 2 to even work. So unfortunately, if she never procs her skill 1, then unfortunately skill 2 will not work. So skill 2 will come down 100% if skill 1 does proc. Lastly, her burst skill, Miracle of Makeshifts, is a 20-second cooldown. Affects all allies. Miracle of Makeshift, attack up 2.32% of caster's attack. Mirror the stack count of temporary modification for 10 seconds. Affects all allies with a shotgun. Miracle of Makeshifts, attack up 24.21% of caster's attack, mirrors the stat count of temporary modifications for 10 seconds. Now looking at the abilities of her burst skill, all the burst skill does affect all allies. It's just that you happen to get a bigger bonus if they do happen to have a shotgun. And the key thing to note on the burst skill where it says mirror the stat count, so pretty much what they're referencing there is the second part of skill 1. Since she can stack it 3 times, that means for her burst, for all the stats you're seeing there, you actually multiply it by 3 since all these are going to stack. On the first part of the burst skill, instead of being 2.32%, it's going to be 6.96% of caster's attack there for 10 seconds. And then for the shotgun part there, instead of being 24.21%, it's going to be 72.63% of caster's attack. So shotguns not only are going to get a huge attack bonus, they're also going to get a massive attack speed, also crit rate. But I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think both of the conditions of the burst skill will become active if you have a shotgun unit. So if it does turn out to be true, then total, if you do happen to have 3 stacks and also a shotgun unit, then combine it with the burst skill there, it should be about 79.59% attack up of a caster's attack there, if both of those actually do stack together on for the burst skill. Now, let me go ahead and give my final thoughts here. Her kit really depends on if you're able to do the 5% proc, since it's actually possible to shoot 60 shots and not have it proc once. or sometimes you could actually fire a few shots and you could actually make it proc all 3 times, no problem. So if you like to gamble a lot, and since you're playing Nikke, you love gambling here, if everything does pay off, she's going to provide a lot of bonuses. To get the full benefit of her whole kit, you're going to want shotgun units on the team. Without shotgun units, it isn't that huge of a bonus. I mean, it is well having the bonus stats that she's going to give. Obviously, by looking at her kit, you're going to want shotgun units on the team. So I'm going to go ahead and show some of the shotgun units here that are in the game right now. But I do want to say this, that there are a few units that have the last shot mechanic. And since Tove's kit actually increases ammo, you might not want to use those Nikkes on the shotgun team because it's actually going to reduce the DPS or their effectiveness. So a few of those Nikkes that actually have the last shot mechanic is going to be Summer Anise, Mary, Pepper, and Marciana, for example. All of those have a last shot mechanic. And if you happen to actually use Tove with those shotgun units, it's actually going to reduce their effectiveness. So you might want to avoid them. I mean, there's a lot of other good units too that are shotguns. For example, there's Drake, Naga, Noir, Polly, Sugar, and I'll even say Isabella because I really like Isabella as well. So yeah, with any of those units that I just mentioned, yeah, she would be a very welcome addition to the team because she could very easily provide so much support for the shotgun units. And not only that, she's going to work extremely well for Gravedigger teams thanks to the attack speed, max ammo up, attack up, crit rate up, and crit damage. Yeah, she'll be a very welcome addition to Gravedigger team. Now, in terms if you should really pull her or not, it really depends if you're very shotgun focused or if you're having a lot of trouble with Gravedigger, then I would probably recommend to go ahead and pull. But honestly, if you do not have shotgun units on the team, her effectiveness is drastically reduced. And on top of that, having the 5% chance of proccing just to even have her kit be really viable, in my opinion, puts her a little bit lower than she should be. Pretty much, if you use a lot of shotguns, then yeah, I would say go ahead and give her a pull. If you don't use a lot of shotgun units, then I would say maybe you want to wait till she goes back to the regular pool, or hope you get her in another banner because she's going to be put back to the regular pool. She is not a limited unit. And even looking at her kit as well, honestly, I do not think she's going to be that much of a meta unit. She's going to be really, really good for shotgun teams. Honestly, in my opinion, I do not think she's a very, very must pull unit unless for very, very specific teams. Of course, that is my opinion. I'm going to pull on this unit regardless because I collect the Nikke, so hopefully I'm able to get it within a few pulls, but if not, I'm just going to save my pulls for another banner right after. And yes, I would like to know your thoughts as well. Are you going to be pulling on this unit too? Do you happen to use actually a lot of shotgun units on your team? Or do you still have trouble with Gravedigger? I would really like to know. Other than that, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and a sub. I'd really appreciate it. I'm Scrublord, and I'll see you on the next one.